Okay. So, and I'm just going to walk through because whenever he did it, I was taking notes, right? So and he kind of bounced around a little bit. He said, does somebody win with me? He said, I need to know. I don't need the emotions. I just need the facts. Now think about that. In the first conversation you have about how I roll, and he laid that out. I don't need the, oh no, guess what they did? I don't need that. I don't need that. Tell me what happened. I don't need the emotion. What is he taking care of right there in his organization?
No drama.
No drama. How many times did you hear him talk about numbers? He said takes the emotions out of the conversations. Just tell us what's real. I need to know before the deadline, not at the deadline. How does somebody win with me? They hit their goals. We all kind of laughed.
We got that message.
Yeah. They're ready to take care of whatever needs to be taken care of right now. They have an attitude of let's do it now, not put it off until somebody reminds me about it. I went, oh, hallelujah. He just said what I've been saying for years, right? Why am I carrying around your to-do list and my to-do list? So I can remind you to do your job? He just went ahead and handled that right there. I said, okay, that saves me. I would have hair if I had that one. He says when they're on vacation, they're on vacation. And when they're at work, they're at work, pushing to hit their goals and the company's vision for their position. They're learning based for that position and they strive for excellence in their position. They're all into their goals, and their goals include getting all of their job descriptions done at a high level.
High level.
So he kind of chunked that up, right? Mm-hmm. So if we walked in and we go, okay, our expectations is that you do all of your job description and that's how you win with me. Hello? They're loyal to the vision of the company. And I thought, okay, he's going to say into me. And he didn't. And I was like, but I'm going to write down to me. I actually wrote it down. Into me, right? Into me. And he said they're loyal to the vision of the company. He said, I've had so many people that have told me that I am all in with anything that Gary says. I am a fan. I love him. I believe in him. I am all in. But that growth initiative thing you're pushing ain't going to happen. Who is the growth initiative from? It's Gary's. So you can't say the first part and not support the second part. It's the vision of the company. They're prepared when they present. What that means to me is they prepare on their time and they present on company time. Honesty. It doesn't matter what happened. It just happened. So let's get it out. Let's get it out so we can fix it and move on. Not replying to text, emails, and phone calls. I'm going for anybody here, that's Chuck's too. So not replying to text, emails, and phone calls. I'm not calling about your mom and them. I only call if we need something. They have respect for my time because time is what? Money. Time is money. We must teach that and we must respect that. And if you do it for me, what would your expectations be that I do it for you? It's the same. We must understand and reflect that we are a reflection of each other. And he said, whoa. So all of a sudden I'm in that higher, we're going to be a reflection of each other. When presenting a problem, you must bring at least one solution with the problem, and it must be a win-win, not a win-lose. Don't bring me a problem without a solution, and don't bring me a problem with a solution that's not a win-win. You should do this. Bring something that's a win-win. Common courtesy with everybody. It doesn't matter, with everybody. He said respect his knowledge level. Why? He said because Diana Kokoska taught him that somebody has went and dug the well before us. And there's things that person knows about the company and where it's headed that we may not know, or they may not be ready to share with us. And so there's a point, and Todd talked to this. He said anytime that International wants us to do something and you don't know for sure, trust your leadership and lean in. And that's what he's saying, lean in. I thought about how many times in my personal company if we started an initiative and they go, I'll wait and see. And he talks about that in just a second. How do people lose with him? They go into judgment instead of staying in curiosity. They give ultimatums. And he said, and he doesn't either, if y'all have ever noticed. He doesn't give ultimatums. He said that's a big turnoff for him, people that give ultimatums. They talk about everything rather than talking about the one thing that needs to be talked about. I immediately went to about, ooh, okay. All right. I want to know in mutual respect with curiosity, because sometimes there are rumors out there, and sometimes people decide those rumors are true, and then they have conversations without mutual respect before they found out if maybe they're not all true. And I thought about that as leaders, how many times we've had people come to us and they said, well, you did this and you did that, and you're like, what are you even talking about? And I thought how that could run through our company. He's saying you lose there, right? He goes ahead and handles it. I want the facts, not the emotions. He said that many, many times. I don't want third-party references included in my conversation unless we can call them right then and have the conversation with them on the line.
And he will do that.
And I say that all the time. Love that.
And I thought, how much stress would that, right? I mean, now everybody knows. Like, if you want to talk about Susie, cool, we're going to call Susie and let's get this worked out right now. He said, is this about me or the vision? And he said that several times, right? So when we use these expectations to support the vision, what are we doing? He's talked about alignment. Let's see what else he had in here. He had just a few things that he went through. Stay in curiosity, he kept bringing that up. He said when somebody doesn't support the vision of the company and they hear something that's near and they cross their arms and say, okay, this is hogwash, right? He said, what did they just do to the momentum of the company at that moment? He said, what happens whenever you have that person that says, I'll sit this one out. I'll just wait and see instead of leaning in and trusting when in doubt. What did they do to the vision of the company? What did they do? What did y'all think? Give me some feedback on that. They damaged it. They damaged it. It's hard to start a train, and they just stopped it. And now you got everybody waiting around to see if it's going to work, and you got to force that momentum again. Not good for the company.
Well, it also causes other people to stumble, and that's a no-no.
You're not lifting people up.
Right.
Exactly right.
He's all about lifting people up.
They're disrespectful at anyone, not just me, anyone you just lost with me. I thought that was pretty cool. They use excuses or victims and don't take responsibility of the company's vision or their position in delivering that vision. Not having standards, not hitting their goals, not telling me what they aren't going to do. It's okay to miss goals and deadlines. It's not okay to not give me advance warning that I can have a chance to attempt to influence theirs and my outcome. Thought this one was neat. He said, no surprises. Never, not even good ones.
Unless it's cookies.
Yeah, he didn't say that. So, yeah, I mean, he didn't say that with me. But I mean, his whole thing was, it's that same thing we talked about goals, right? If I say I'm fixing to hit this and I hit 12 more than I said, what happened that you didn't know that, right? No surprises.
Well, his very first thing was, I need to know.
I need to know.
Exactly.
One-sided conversations on responsibility, like you said this and you said that, you were going to do that when you're in an accountability conversation. I thought this was a good way of thinking about it. He said, it makes me nervous about someone when they talk and they start seeing things like, well, you see it. And that makes him very nervous. He said, somebody not doing their job or just barely doing it with no ownership or pride in it, they lose with him as well. And then last, he said, this is not a one and done conversation. We pull this out every time you or I fail. He was very awesome about saying, everything I'm going to ask of you, you can expect me to do everything I have typed here, right? And so we will pull it out every time I fall down on the vision of the company and use it, and then vice versa. And he said, is this about me? Any of this conversation about me? And the response was no. It's about the vision of the company.
And I think what he's saying about the vision, remember, this is the vision interview. This is making sure you're aligned on that. And when he's talking about being aligned to the company vision, he does a great job of this. Again, I keep saying this over and over, where Keller Williams we're speaking one language and we're moving towards one vision. So like at KWRI, we all say we're the growth department. And we're supporting all of you because then you're also the growth department. I think the other thing, whenever you're listening to what John's asking, you want to be led by John. You want him to be your leader. The part about when you're on vacation, you're on vacation. He's not going to call you, text you, email you when you're on vacation. And it doesn't matter how important that is. He respects your time in the office, and he respects your time with your family to a really big degree. And then other things that you're picking up on, that you're seeing traits of someone that you want to be around and someone that you know can take you to the next level. So thank you for reading that.